Welcome to Paw Print Academy, your blueprint to raising better dogs. My name's Ryan, and I'll be your host for this journey. I've got my trusty co-host here, Brianna.
Hello.
And together we're bringing you real-world training insights built on leadership, structure, and proven methods. We record this podcast with live clients on the line in one take with live, unscripted questions and answers. At the end of the day, this podcast is a lot more than just teaching your dog to sit or stay. It's about building trust, creating calmness, and becoming the kind of leader your dog truly needs. We do that with our 3-pillar method of trust, obey, and perform. Together, we'll show you how these 3 pillars shape every step of training. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right. Hey, everybody. Episode 23 coming at you. Separation anxiety versus separation frustration. Knowing the difference because it matters.
Right.
So today we're talking about the difference between these two things that we get calls all the time for. My dog absolutely hates being on, by themselves.
Yep.
Okay. Well, there's different things that they can be. And it's easy to say things and words that we use in the human vernacular that's like, oh, well, it's anxiety.
Yeah.
Well, anxiety is a very human type emotion.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it on Inside Out. And
yeah, that's a cute
it's
one.
a real person. The concept, though, doesn't always completely align to your dog.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just frustrated. Sometimes they're unhappy or dissatisfied for a reason that we could meet and relieve some of that so-called anxiety that we point the finger at.
Yeah.
All right. So to remind anyone who is or hasn't been here in a while, the chat window is open. So for our live clients that are on the line with us on the Zoom call, you can drop a message into there if we're babbling and talking, and I'll answer it as they come up. I've got it up there, and then we will work our way through here. Super exciting development. I've got a statistic today.
Oh, fun.
We have got 170 listens to the podcast in the last 30 days.
Nice.
So that's exciting.
Yeah, that's
slowly
exciting.
Climbing the mountain.
Slowly.
And we explained it on the intro, but this call is recorded, and so anything you say might end up on a recording.
Can it be used against you in the court of law?
Absolutely. So the goal is not to stick it to somebody. The goal is to have a group discussion at points so that everybody can learn from other people in their individual situations.
Right, because not all of our clients know each other,
Yeah.
They don't ever, or not always interact. I mean, at group they do, but a lot of times, like, we see all of you guys separately, but we see so many of the same kind of behaviors or things going on with the same, or with each of your dogs, but it's the same kind of baseline, behaviors.
Yeah, absolutely. Lila says congrats.
Oh,
Thanks,
thanks.
Lila. Yeah, absolutely. Additionally, it's sometimes difficult to flip back and forth from dog trainer mode to dog owner mode and think about things from a typical owner's perspective. Because we're the crazy ones who do this 24/7. So that is not lost on us. We're by far certainly not perfect. We have 4 dogs of our own, and they are wild and crazy in all of the same ways at times, for sure.
Right, and each in their own way.
Yeah. They're all living, breathing things. So we mess it up all the time. But sometimes we forget what it was like to not know a lot of the answers, or not even the answers, but just like the direction that we should
Yeah, because
be
for
headed.
sure I was like a young kid with a dog, and I was like, this thing is so fun. And then I was like, this thing is not fun anymore. And just had no idea like what to do with that.
Right. Whereas now we're dog trainers and we have a little French bulldog that we still scratch our heads like, what is she doing?
Right. I just have no idea. She like laid in the sun today and baked herself for a while. And I was like, we're just going to go with that.
Yeah. she's kind of like a little cow. But
yeah.
All right. Core idea for tonight as we roll into this is that not all dogs that struggle being left alone have separation anxiety. Mm-hmm. Not all of them. Many experience separation frustration. Many of them experience just boredom.
Yeah. And some of them don't mind.
Right. And then some of them don't mind, right? Some of them like to be left alone. But all these things look similar, but they require very different approaches. So tonight we're going to kind of go down the road of diagnosing which one's which, talking about the differences between the two.
Yep.
I'd love to hear if you're listening tonight and you're live on the call, if you think of something that you'd like to share, by all means, I will open it up for that sharing. And let's talk about it. Okay. Separation anxiety and separation frustration. Not the same.
Yep.
Here we go. Lumping these issues together can sometimes lead you down the wrong path. Mm-hmm. So let's separate them. You didn't get it. All right, that's fine. Okay. So separation anxiety is driven. It's all right. So it's corny. Separation anxiety is driven by panic and emotional distress.
Yep.
This separation anxiety is like the big one. That's the one where it's like, this dog cannot think through this.
Yeah.
Right? When we take a dog that's truly got separation anxiety, we have to modify some of the training techniques that we use because you're not going to break through.
Yeah.
This dog is literally conditioned to be in this loop. And just like human anxiety, if you've ever experienced it, you can't just, somebody can't yell at you to get you to snap out of it.
Right. You just can't like turn it off immediately.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. And then separation frustration is driven by unmet needs, lack of structure, boredom, a lack of appropriate decision points.
Yeah.
Right. These are the things that grow and build frustration in a dog because they're like, I have nothing to do.
Yep.
Or the person that I rely on to make those decisions is not here and I don't know how to like stand on my own four paws.
Yeah.
I'm going to cough.
Oh no. And so
I had to mute it real quick.
you're fine. Going through the characteristics of both anxiety and frustration, right? So with anxiety, a lot of times you're going to see a dog that can't stop pacing around, vocalizing, like whining and panting, trying to escape. And ultimately, when you get severe separation anxiety, it can look like self-injury and like just they're so redlined that they don't care whether they harm themselves or not, thinking that just getting out of that situation will ease their emotions about it.
Right. This is that like fight, flight, freeze.
Yeah.
Like all of their internal genetics,
Yeah.
right, are like you're fighting hormones at this point.
Yeah, their nervous system is just like off the charts.
Right.
And then with frustration, a lot of times that looks like barking, chewing on things, and destroying your home while you're gone. Couch pillows, gone. Like bedding, gone.
Right.
All
and this
of
is
those
not a
things.
dog that is shaking like a leaf.
Right.
This is a dog that's like, I guess I'll do this.
Yeah, I'm gonna chew that. That looks fine.
Right. Or let me say it different, because the same thing can happen, but let me say it differently in a human voice, right? Like, I don't have anything to do. I guess I'm going to chew on this.
Mm-hmm.
Those, sometimes you just say it a little, sometimes you say it a little bit differently and it trips a different trigger in a human brain.
Yeah. Yeah, because we say things with tones, but dogs say things with barks and whines and different body language rather than the words and the tone that we can use. But ultimately, treating frustration like anxiety can reinforce that dependence, because if you feel that you constantly need to be with the dog or give the dog something to do, then you're you're trying to ease the frustration, but it can build that separation anxiety where they learn to rely on you more and more and more and more and more. So that's where we tend to lean owners towards teaching a dog how to do nothing on their own and self-regulate and just relax without you having to ultimately just direct them all the time to relax. And in the beginning, that looks like telling the dog to relax. But eventually you start conditioning that, and the conditioned relaxation becomes the dog's like go-to of it's when it comes down to it, it's I'm going to go science-y. Are you ready?
I swear by next week I'm going to have the little
whiz noise.
Right, the little whiz noise.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Right. I don't know. Nope, that's the wrong one. Right, it'll be like something like that.
Yeah, but I don't like that one because that's a scary one.
Well, it's a scary one, but I'm gonna get it on the panel.
I like that.
We'll have a Bill Nye the Science Guy moment.
So mine won't get as in depth as yours get, but when you look at a dog and you're talking about self-regulating and conditioning relaxation, you look at balancing and flipping a dog between their parasympathetic and their sympathetic nervous system. Right. Crazy. Right. And when you look at those two, like that's where you have to look at how a dog reacts and whether you have to continue telling them to relax until they get to the point where it's just automatic. It's like your bell drool food thing, Pavlov. I was like, oh, I can't remember. Conditioning. Yeah. And so you're classically conditioning a mindset in a dog to where they can flip their brain to the off switch and really truly relax. But it's not just relaxation, it's balancing their nervous system.
Yeah. I think that this episode is going to resound a lot with people. We saw and dog trainers talk about a lot the 2020 COVID time where it basically like reset the entire dog population to have separation anxiety.
Right. And
so
now
it's like a very
like 6.
Right. So it's like a very common thing for this like midlife dog to have.
Right, like stage 5 clingers. Everybody has stage 5 clingers, and they're like,
because
oh my
we
God.
built this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go through why, these common fixes that you can just, Google don't always work. So one, excessive reassurance can build a dog's confidence, but not in them.
Yeah.
In you.
Yeah.
Which might throw you off because you're like, well, I want them to,
Right. We always talk about you be the leader, you lead your dog and be in charge. But in this case, you have to find a balance.
Exactly. Because every dog is different and every little condition is going to be different.
Right.
So in a dog that is showing this, this lack of confidence on their own 4 paws, now we want to build that reassurance in them and their thought processes.
Yeah.
At least initially more than we build it just in us. Otherwise, the dog just develops even more separation, frustration, and or anxiety.
Yeah. And I mean, we might mean well, but a lot of times when it comes down to like that excessive reassurance, the number one phrase we hear owners say to their dogs is, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's okay. You're okay. But that dog doesn't know what that means. And you're giving tone and body language and emotion that dog can kind of feel. And they're like, well, this seems
Right.
off.
Why are you
Something
telling me
seems
it's
weird.
okay? You don't normally do that.
Right.
Right. When nothing is happening, you don't come over here and go, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So obviously something is off.
Yeah.
The other problem with that is that if, let's say the dog does understand what you're saying and you're saying it's okay.
Yep.
What is the dog targeting as the source of what is okay?
Right. Yeah. What are they engaged in?
Right. And so a lot of times when the dog is in their like stressed state, you're telling them that what they're thinking, the way that they're thinking, the way their brain is racing, the way that whatever it is that they're scared of, you're telling them that and their reaction to that is okay.
Yeah. Basically reinforcing
Right.
whatever the emotion is.
Correct. So we're going to talk about what we do for that in the next little section here, but we're going to frame this out. The next thing is constant following is, I can't read what I wrote on that one. Constant following prevents independence. So when the dog just follows you around everywhere you go, and every time you go into another room, they come with you.
Mm-hmm.
Owners and humans, we look at that and we're like, oh, they love me. This is so
They wanna
good.
hang out.
Right. They always just want to be close to me. And I agree. They do love you.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that. But what is actually going on underneath the hood, right? You open it up and you're like, oh, look at this mess.
Yeah.
Because that dog, and it's not all dogs. It's not just because the dog walks around with you, they have separation anxiety or frustration. That's not what I'm saying. But the subject of today's podcast is on those dogs.
Right. And that's how it can start.
Correct. So for these specific dogs, when they are following you around, they never get the chance to just be by themselves, but you still be in the other room where they like, okay, you're home, but I'm not attached to you.
Yeah.
Cesar Millan recommends a reference point in this super funny video if you ever look it up.
All of his videos are funny. I swear we watch that sometimes just so we can like laugh.
I love it, but a lot of people have watched a lot of that, right?
And
He's
it makes sense.
reached a lot of people, so I like
very
using those
outdated.
examples, right? It's a reference point.
Yeah.
So the basically taking the dog, and I'm jumping ahead to the solutions here, but what we're going to talk about is we want to take a dog and put them in a point and then slowly like move further and further away from them while they're still in that same spot. And then we can show them through repetition that, oh, I got farther away and then I came back.
Yeah,
And
that's
I got
like our
farther away and then I
thresholds.
came back. Right. And we're going to talk about that whole process. But the concept of a dog not adhering to a reference point, not knowing how to be on place, not accepting being put in their crate,
Yeah.
having to be attached to you, that Velcro dog syndrome, that builds all of these processes.
Yeah. What is it in Monsters Inc? Code 19. Code 19. I don't think that's the number, but I can never remember.
23, 23, 19. 23, 19. That's right.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. Then the next thing is when we take a dog that has separation anxiety, and we're not making a move on vets here, but a surgeon is paid to do surgery. A doctor typically wants to prescribe medication. A dog trainer wants to do training. A vet wants to give some medicine.
Yeah.
Right? They are medication based, and this day and age, vets are very, very, very much medication based. So We take a dog. Oh, he's got separation anxiety. Well, does he? Who diagnosed that? Right? The vet just has to go based off of what you're saying.
Right.
They don't get a chance, and they're way too busy to like sit down and like go through a whole, interview and figure out exactly what's going on.
Yeah. I wish we could. I honestly wish and I guess I've never like researched it before, is like finding a holistic vet, they have like holistic.
Yeah,
like,
they
people
exist.
doctors.
I don't know of any around here, but
We live in such a small
so where
area.
I'm going with this is we take a dog to a vet because they're having a problem, and the vet is oftentimes your first like ally in, working with your dog to work through issues. Especially if the dog has done something crazy. Mm-hmm. Well, now the vet's like, all right, well, let's put him on trazodone. Let's put him on
Prozac. Is that
right.
Prozac?
Dog version of Prozac.
Mm.
Where we're going with this is that medication then is in the mix. It changes hormone balance.
Right.
It masks the symptoms, and it puts you in a position where how are you ever going to work through it? Right. Because you have squashed it down. Mm-hmm. Now, if that works for you, then it works for you.
And
that's
also,
fine.
if it's a temporary solution to get you past something, then yeah.
Right. But at some point, we've got to confront the monster.
Right.
And when your dog is on medication, especially some of the hard-hitting medication that does completely shut down or change drives, hormones, and nervous system thought process, your hill that you're trying to get to the top of gets larger.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And then I want to talk about the one that you skipped also. Emotional departures raise arousal. So with that, it's when you think about a dog that has separation anxiety and you go to put your shoes on and your dog automatically already starts panting and pacing and whining, you get your keys and it gets louder and more intense, or you start getting upset and if your dog starts portraying those, like it may emotionally like dysregulate you, which then emotionally dysregulates your dog. And so then it's like this whole effect thing. And so we have seen people before do this, and it's like, cool, they will say something to the dog, or they'll start talking to the dog and they're like, I'll be right back, buddy. And they start like petting them and doing all of these things. Imagine if you dropped your kid off at kindergarten on their first day and you started crying and you were like hugging them and didn't want to like let go. The emotional state of that child is now going to match your emotional state. If they were fine when you got out of the car, but you started getting upset, well, they're like, well, my mom's upset. I should probably be upset too. Why is she upset? I don't know, but now we're both upset. That's how you have to look at it when you have a dog that's like, well, don't leave me. I want to go with you. I have seen people that have like let the dog like control their lives because they lived in an apartment or in a townhome. And if they left, their dog barked to the point where like their landlord was like, if you don't fix it, like you have to move. And so they would have someone hired to come over to their apartment, or I think it was a townhome, come over to her townhome like every day and spend the day with her dog. Like spend the day, not just like drop-ins to let them out to go to the bathroom. It's like because the dog could not be alone. Why would they not go with a crate? I think at one point it was a wire crate. They had a bad experience and they like nixed crates completely. And then it became an instance where they got a crate. The dog would get so crazy when she went to go put him in the crate that he would injure himself or her in the process because he knew that was the signal that she was going to leave him alone. Uh-huh. She ended up having to take him to the gym with her. She took that dog everywhere because she felt as though she could not leave him. Right. And it got really extensive. She eventually like got extensive training for him, but it took a long time to even like convince her to get help for that dog. And it was like, that dog is not mentally healthy. That's not
Right. Yeah. That's
that
not
dog doesn't want to feel that way and shouldn't have to feel that way.
and this is where the whole conversation, it does get emotional.
Yeah.
Because no one no one that I've ever talked to, no one calls a professional dog trainer and then is like, yeah, I really don't care about my dog, so I want to pay for training, right? That's not
Right.
That's not real.
Yeah.
So everyone that we talk to always loves their dog. Everyone, by the time they've reached out to me, right, they're seeking out a dog trainer. Like they've already passed a few, steps that
Right. They've tried some things.
they've tried some things
Yeah.
and they really care about their dog. So
Yeah.
there's no part of this that we're like, these owners, blah, blah, blah. Everyone that we work with loves and cares about their dog.
Yeah.
But we have to understand that the love and affection can't rule that relationship.
Right. When people end up reaching out to us as their like final resort or, their next step that they feel like they need to take, it typically comes down to they love their dog so much that they can't show them tough love. And that's what the dog needs in order to feel like they can function in everyday life.
Right. And tough love is also just renamed like, calm,
Right.
rock solid leadership.
Yeah.
You know what is good for your dog
Yeah.
more than they do.
Yep. Absolutely.
And so even though they are short-sighted and they can't see it, it could be right in front of their face, but they can't see it.
Right, but
you
if-
have to guide them through that door.
Right, because if your dog looked at a chocolate bar and was like, I'm going to eat that, for sure you're going to stop them because
Right,
you
that's
know
bad
that
for
it's
you.
not good for
Grapes,
them.
Right, grapes,
Grapes,
toxic
yeah.
to dogs. You
Right.
can't. You're not supposed to have grapes.
And you will tell them no for that. But
They
if
love
your
grapes.
dogs don't love grapes. They love anything that they can eat most of the time.
I
The
got a
dogs
call
don't
about
love
all the grapes that
grapes.
this dog ate, and it was,
That was
like, what do
one
I do?
dog. There was something wrong with that dog.
All right, I
Anywho,
digress.
back on track.
Continue.
I don't actually know what I was about to say now.
Dang
It went
it.
away that quick. Oh, the chocolate bar. You're going to tell them no for that, right? Because you understand that it's unhealthy. But what I want people to start like picking up on, and I always like play like the brain games with the dogs and stuff and like deal with like the crazy behavior, because that's what I like, is I like to see a dog like go from being so like mentally unhealthy to being like, oh my gosh, I'm alive and the sun is shining and everything is okay today. And there's a huge impact that you can make on a dog, but nobody looks at a dog that's stressed and thinks that they're mentally like suffering or in mental crisis.
Right.
But we will look at a human who's like laying in bed all day or has a problem regulating themselves, and it's like, oh, well, they have like mental health like issues. So do dogs. Like it's different for sure. It's certainly not the same thing and doesn't have all the medications that humans have for whatever their brain things are, but
We're not
it's
doctors. We don't know.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor.
We're just
I have no
making
idea.
comments here. I don't know.
Yeah. But I still want people to look at dogs and know that the tough love training side that we come from is because we want to see dogs that are mentally healthy.
Yeah.
We want dogs to feel safe and secure and okay with their lives and
Right.
not have to be stressed or scared or worried and all of those things.
Yeah, 100%. All right. So at this point, I want to open it up. If anybody wants to jump in with a story or something to add on this whole subject, I'll give it just a minute. But it'd be great to hear some other angles of it. I'm sure that we've left out or missed some little things, but that's where sometimes people fill in the gaps for us.
Yeah.
And if not, no problem. We can drive right along. Just give it another second here. All right. I will throw it in the chat window if you think of something that you want to contribute. And we will drive forward with, here's the meat and potatoes. This is what we're going to, hold on a second. All right. The meat and potatoes of tonight is how do we fix this?
Yeah.
What do we do about it?
How?
So, the overarching solution here.
It's going to sound so
Right.
like basic though.
No one wants to hear this.
Nobody wants to hear
Just
it.
turn it off. Turn the podcast off. Dogs, your dog has to learn how to be calm by themselves.
By themselves.
Right. And now how do we do that is the $1 million question. And that's usually why people end up reaching out to dog trainers. But the answer to the question is they learn calmness by being alone.
Yep.
And then we just modify it and we change it and we add duration and distance and some distraction and we build impulse control and all of these things so that then the dog can be alone.
Yeah.
And that's literally the solution.
Yeah, because the number one thing you could do when you bring a dog home is put their kennel space somewhere with a little bit of distance from you.
Yeah.
Because that automatically just teaches them right from the get-go. It's like, hey, cool. We have time together, but then we have time apart.
Yeah. And we see a lot of times with multi-dog households that people got the other dog so that the other dog wouldn't be alone.
Yeah.
And it was like, well,
yeah, I think
right. We
there's so
supported, right. A lot of people get the second dog so that their first dog doesn't have to exhibit separation frustration.
Or two at the same time. They
Or
get
they got
two
both,
together and they're like, well, we wanted two so that they can stay together.
Right. So that they can stay
They have
together.
a partner,
and
yeah.
Right. And there's other things that come up. We've talked about those in some other episodes. But when you get two dogs so that they can play together and then you put them together 24/7 and, you know, they live outside together in a like an outside yard or an area or whatever.
Yep.
What are the odds that they're going to listen to you when you want them to do something?
Right, you're like the least exciting thing.
Everything that the dogs do is way more fun, way more exciting. They speak the same language.
Because they make the rules.
They make the rules. They do what they want during the day. And so you've created a totally different issue. Well, that's not the one we're talking about, though, so I'll get back on track.
Okay.
The separation part. When you are kenneling a dog with another dog in the house, we highly recommend that you separate them.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be forever, right? Depending on your house, you might not have that room where you're like, oh, cool, I can just put a dog in this room and a dog in that room. That might not work for you.
Yep.
I get it. But put something between them.
Yeah.
You know, put some piece of furniture, put one on one side of the couch, one on the other.
Yep.
Whatever it is that you do, you want to create some distance because that's going to help you out in the long run. All right. So then the next step here, we want to teach short, structured absences, starting in the same room. If it's that bad, we start really small, like place in the same room. Place is awesome for teaching impulse control and teaching and reversing this separation, anxiousness and frustration. To go back to the Caesar Milan thing, the reference point.
Right.
It's place.
Yeah.
We imagine you put a place bed, though, to explain what this is and how you can use it and apply it to your house. It's really it's a useful concept. You want to make the place bed the center, the epicenter of that room. And then you're going to draw imaginary lines around the place bed, getting
like
it further and further. Yeah, just like a target if you were looking at it from the top.
Yep.
And they're imaginary. Don't draw on the carpet.
Don't draw.
So we draw these lines a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. Now what we do is we start on the interior line and we start trying to cross that line. And as your dog stays on their place, we reward them. And then you can go to the next line And as their dog stays on their place, we can increase our distance, our distraction, and our duration. Those are the three ways that we proof place. And in proofing place, we increase the ability for the dog to go, I didn't die.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and my dad, they went over there and then they came back for me and they were really excited that I did this.
Mm-hmm.
Now we reinforce that.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you go further and further and further and further until eventually you can go to the front door and back. You can go outside and then back. And then we start, closing a door. And then we count to 3. And then we open the door and we go back in. And then we go outside and we count to 5. The biggest mistake that we usually make here is that we get like 5 steps away. And then we're like, wow, they're doing so good. Let me walk into the other room.
Yep.
And it's like, you went too hard, too fast, and then your dog breaks. And now you have reinforced a bad habit instead of a good one.
Yep.
Dogs are pattern based. So the more that we enforce the good habits, the less bad ones we'll have to deal with because they'll die out naturally.
Right. And eventually, you test your dog, right? And teach them the difference between staying and not staying. But in the very beginning, the more successful that you set the dog up for, or the more success that you set the dog up for, the faster that they're going to learn.
Yeah. So using that same concept, but using place beds, crates, or just defined areas like the mantle of a fireplace or the couch or a rug or a carpet square. All of those things have definitive borders, and you can hold your dog accountable to stay on them.
Yep.
Then you slowly build that duration, distance, and distraction in, and you slowly get further and further away through those concentric circles.
Yep.
All right. Next, we start building calm routines.
Mm-hmm.
Your dog is very, very good at picking up on routines.
Right. That's why when you put your shoes on and pick up your keys, they're already like, ah.
Yep. So we find those routines that we've already accidentally built excitement and anxiety in, and we start repeating them, but with calmness, in slow motion, with relaxation being the theme. And then we start building in some more duration in between the event that is spiking their anxiety or their frustration and the actual event that ends up taking place. For example, I pick up my keys and then I go to the door and I leave. So now and the dog knows this, so now when I pick up my keys, they go crazy.
Yep.
Well, so now I need to very calmly go pick up my keys and then very calmly go sit back down.
Yeah.
And then very calmly go put my keys back and then go pet the dog.
Yeah.
And then do this over and over and over and vary it and modify it and change it until the keys are no longer a factor for ramping the dog up.
Right. And the amount of time that that's going to take is going to depend on the dog and how locked in they really are on your patterns. Because I was talking to a friend about this today, and they're having a problem with their dog invading their space when they go to pet their second dog now. And she's like, well, I put my dog down off the couch when she does that, but she's still doing it. And I was like, right, well, how long has it been? And it's like, well, a week. Right. That's not really long enough, because guaranteed she only does it maybe once a day.
Yeah.
Not multiple times.
Because the repetitions matter.
Yeah. And so if
it
you're
doesn't
doing it
matter
once,
how long it is. It could be a year. Well, we did it for a year.
Right.
It's like, well, how many times did it happen that year? Well, 3.
Right.
Okay. Well,
also, if you're doing it
me?
Sometimes, but not other times, that's going to break that pattern down.
Correct.
And so what we also come into is we talk about the rules of 3s with dogs. And this is what I told her. I was like, you remember the rules of 3? I told you 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. And she's like, oh yeah, that 3-month rule, that kicks hard. Right. It does. It's real, and I think the dogs have calendars in their kennels, and they're like, I'm going to count it down. But when you're looking at changing a behavior and a pattern, give it 3 weeks. Don't do something for a week and think that the dog's going to pick up on it. Will they? Maybe. Yeah, it depends on what you do and how you do it with the dog. But when you're looking at really changing a like structured behavior, you have to be really, insistent on how consistent you are when you are breaking those patterns down in a dog, because they can build them up really strong.
Yeah. Yeah. Physical and mental needs.
Yep. Meeting physical and mental needs is next. So if you have a dog that's a high drive dog and like you've done nothing all day but be a loaf with them and be like, oh, we're going to cuddle on the couch and then I have to leave and go to work, and your dog has a high drive, that dog's immediately going to have a hard time. Right. And so if they're based towards separation anxiety, not every high drive dog, we can put our high drive dogs in a kennel and they're like, oh, okay, cool, I'm going to relax. But
that only came from doing that.
Right, over and
Right.
over. Dexter's literally done it since he was 2, and he still sometimes is like, oh,
Right.
because he has like severe FOMO of like, well, I want to go out and play.
Right.
It's not because he's anxious that we're literally like leaving. He's just like, well, I want to go.
I want to bite something.
Yeah, I want to go. I want to play. But if you don't meet physical and mental needs of a dog and then you put them in confinement, they're obviously going to have some of that anxiety and that frustration more drawn out.
Yeah. And I'll lead into one of Bree's favorite questions in an evaluation is, well, what do you know about this breed and why did you choose them, right?
Yeah.
Because
it's my favorite.
Every dog is genetically predisposed to wanting and needing certain things.
Yeah.
If you have a little Australian Shepherd,
yeah,
and
you're crazy.
First, you're crazy. And you're like, well, yeah, I just want her to live on the couch with me because that's what I do.
Yeah.
I sit on the couch, I work from home, I don't go anywhere, I don't do anything.
Yeah.
You got the wrong dog.
Yeah, you got the wrong dog.
Because and then
it's cute.
Right. And then we get when guests come over and kids come over and there's other dogs or whatever, it runs around and it hops up and it's nipping at things.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's doing all the things that it's programmed to do.
Right.
Right. So you've got the mental and physical needs that we're talking about is specific to your dog. What do they find satisfying and fulfilling to do? Mm-hmm. And we need to let them do some of that.
Yeah.
And if you let them do that immediately before you leave, you'll have a better time.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll also just meet the dog's needs. So then the physical level of frustration in the dog will automatically go down.
Yeah.
Now you might not even notice some of the other like symptoms.
Yeah.
Or you might, right? Every dog is different.
Yep.
So I'm not treating any of these as like the silver bullet. You just do this and it's fixed.
Yeah.
This is just the process. These are the steps.
Yep.
The last one I've talked about it a couple of times, but we need to increase the duration of anything that we're using, everything that we're doing here, but especially time in the crate.
Yep.
Separation anxious and separation frustrated dogs almost always, I don't want to say always on a podcast that anybody could listen to, but the concept is that almost always these dogs they do better when you give them firm, definitive structure. Mm-hmm. And a crate isolates them and forces them to be by themselves.
Yep.
Which is not anything that anybody loves to do. I totally understand. But it's very often the right thing to do to guide your dog and to lead your dog to a better life overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So with that, I'm going to open it up for questions before we get to listener projects. So the line is open, and I think I have our non-copyrighted Jeopardy music queued up and ready to go. So if you've got a question, now is your time. And then we'll move on to listener projects. All right. Listener project number 1, independent sessions. So settle the dog down on place or in a crate, reward the calm behavior, and then just start practicing increasing the distance. A little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further, until you can walk outside, maybe with the door open. And you continue to use those continuation markers that we've talked about before. You probably didn't get this far without knowing what marker words are.
Yeah.
But if you did, go back to, I think it's maybe like episode 3. I think we talked about marker words. But reward your dog for spending time away from you. That's the concept. Reward and praise your dog for spending time away from you.
Yep.
That is important. All right. Number 2, calm departure routine. We want to remove the emotional craziness from you leaving. You have to be strong for your dog, and you have to show the dog through your body language, which is far and above what your dog will listen to over your words and over just random happenstance. How you carry yourself with your body language is going to be very important. Mm-hmm. So this is the time to suck it up, Buttercup. And we remove that emotional ritual from leaving. Leave and return neutrally.
Yep.
And if your dog's not in a crate, you don't put him in a crate and you just let him roam around. Okay, cool. Then practice leaving.
Yeah.
Practice leaving through the door without them rushing the door, without them, freaking out. By the time that you go in and out of that house 50 times, 1, you'll be ready for lunch. And 2, your dog will probably just go lay down because they're like, my mom and dad have lost their minds. Mm-hmm. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm going to go lay down because this is weird. That is a step in the right direction.
Yep.
And then you just reinforce it. Track your progress also.
Yeah, that's important.
This is really important. So we are building an app that is, I kind of announced it last week. My target is to release it for everybody on May 1st. But this app is built around a journal and logging feature. Mm-hmm. The whole thing is based on that. It uses AI and uses a bunch of, there's like courses and things and instruction that, you can access. It's totally free. There's, premium options for sure, but like everything's free and you can use it. All the logging features and the journal features are completely free because I don't think that people use the journal or use a journal enough.
Yeah.
It's 2026. Everybody's got a phone on them. If I can make an app that you literally can just pull out and click like 3 buttons and log like, hey, this went well, or this went well, or this didn't go well. My dog had an accident. My dog had an anxious behavior. My dog had this. My dog had that. If we can make it easy, hopefully dog owners will do it more.
Yeah.
Because keeping a log of your progress is super, super important. Mm-hmm. With that, I will close it out. You got anything else?
No, that was a good one.
All right. Well, with that, I will basically bid you good night. Thank you for everybody that has tuned in. Thanks, guys, for being on the call. We will have this episode should go live next Monday. So what is that? I'm real bad at the dates.
I don't know, like 4 days.
Yeah. If you are listening to this, you found this podcast and it helped you, give us a rating. I would love to collect stars around here. But give us a rating, leave us a review, or leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. I'm always trying to get better. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.